Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Star's Train of Thoughts. This podcast is dedicated to putting out content about empowerment, self discovery, and personal development. This platform, I'll also be sharing my stories and experiences with my faith, anxiety, personal struggles, and everything in between. So buckle up, get ready, because the next episode's coming up. Hey guys! Welcome to the 20th podcast episode. So, for this one, I just wanted to dig deep into my relationships. I mean, my past relationships, how I got into these relationships, and how I got out of them, and what I learned through it all, what I learned from these people, and what I discovered about myself. Probably you've read or not. I actually posted a blog post where I mentioned about how early I got into these relationships. So just a quick, recap. My first relationship was when I was around 12 years old, but it wasn't as serious. The relationships you have when you were still in grade school or in high school where everything's superficial, everything's like infatuation is happening. It's not the real deep love that we experience. So it's just full of text messages and not really into dating, but that's how early I got into relationships. And I don't want to go person to person, but I could say there's two major relationships that I had previously. I just wanted to talk about these people. The first guy I'm going to mention is I'm not mentioning this person because I'm proud, but because I'm so proud of myself for having undergone through this kind of relationship. I had this, I don't know if I call it serious, siguro to the relationship. I had a boyfriend at the age of, ano ba ang second year high school? Okay, at 14 years old. And of course, it was a secret relationship from my parents because my parents wouldn't allow me to have a boyfriend as young as that age. And I actually had this time in my life where I really admire people who are like the bad boy kind of people, like the cool kids. And yeah, I got into a relationship with a guy where he was like the scariest guy in our batch. Like, he wasn't physically attractive, but I guess I got into that relationship because I liked the feeling where I had this boyfriend who would stick up for me, who people are scared of. And he was kind of a bully. He was big. People would wonder why I'm with him. Yeah, I got into that relationship. I guess we were on and off 2 to 3 years. I was kind of a battered girlfriend. Not really super physical, like you can see some evidence of it, but I was verbally abused, sometimes physically, but there would be no evidence, like there would be no bruises, walang pasa. But you know, that guy really verbally abused me, would throw at me like a lot of different negative words, bad words, and yung mga, alam nyo na, yung mga bad words. And who would even threat me, like to the point where I would want to break up with him. He would throw words at me like I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill your family, I know where you live, stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I'm reminiscing about it. There was a time where I think we were in third year high school then. He would almost punch me on my face in front of my friends. Actually, it was health period, and my friends and I, my barkada, we cut class and we spent that period, walking down outside our classroom. And he showed up. I was shocked. We were in a fight. And then he got angry. He got mad at me and he took his hand and it almost hit me. And then he just pulled it and he didn't even went for it, but he just punched the door of the classroom. Our barkada kasi we are 10. they were shocked, and some of my friends were actually sticking up for me. They were actually protecting me, so I was kind of relieved to have those kind of friends. Ooh, that was a hard experience. I don't know, my childhood was really not that. It was good, but at that age, I was 15 and I already experienced that. And sometimes we would even fight in public. We would be called in the guidance office, and the guidance counselor would talk and have us deal these things. And I don't know, we keep on going back together. I think because I was kind of afraid. I was feeling like this was it for me. Like he was gonna be my future. So yeah, I was so immature back then. So I didn't know where my path would lead me. And I also would remember the time where we fought. Like it was already 5 in the afternoon where we fought in the near the street in our school, and we threw rocks at each other because we were mad at each other. So I don't know why I'm open to talking about this, but this really was a deep part of my past. And here comes college, and I discovered a lot of new people, new friends, new classmates, new world. I was in a different school, he was in a different school. So I was kind of lying myself from him, like what are my schedules, who am I with? So it got to a lot of fights, and then one day he just went into my school and just disturbed our class, and he was shouting at me, and we were having a class. I just went outside, and then a good friend of mine, a classmate of mine, tried to help me and protect me, and that classmate of mine actually ended up getting punched. Yeah, we were called to the office of the school. I think it was called SAO, Student Something Office. Anyway, and then we went to Santa Ana Police Station because of what happened. Like, this was trespassing and this was considered as an abuse. So everything moved so fast, and that guy ended up like continually stalking me. But my parents and I decided to have him blattered. And it was kind of scary for me, but it gave me a relief to be free from that kind of relationship because I really wanted to be away from him ever since we were in high school. He was really threatening me, threatening to kill me, threatening to burn my house. Yeah, I experienced that kind of relationship as young as 14, 15, 16 years old. And I got free. I was free from him when I was 17. So I was really living this free life, freedom. And then I met a lot of new people. I enjoyed meeting a lot of guys. And then this was the peak of my party scene. Like my friends and I would party every weekend, go out, have some drinks, party all night long, go home at 3, 4 in the morning. And sometimes we would even drink like every day. I got to that point where I would drink myself till I was so drunk, and sometimes I would even wake up not knowing how I got home. That was kind of my past. I got a lot of good memories, but I know it contributed to, how I am right now is because of my past. And, different guys, I would meet different people. I'm just glad at the time, mga 18 ako or 19. No, I mean 17, 18. I was just so glad to be free from that high school nightmare. I thought my life was gonna end up like that. That's why I don't really judge people who are in a relationship, who are physically abused, who are battered girlfriends, who are battered boyfriends, because I've been there and I know how it feels like. I know how scary it could be. I have a positive outlook with this. There's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. You can learn a lot of things from what happened to you in the past. So I'm not really negative. I know if you're going through with this kind of relationship, you're going to end up growing and learning. So here comes the next or the most influential person in my life. I had another major boyfriend when I was 18. I met this guy when I was 18. We were classmates. And this was the heartbreak of my life. This was my totga. The one that got away. I'm not gonna leave a lot of details because I respect this guy too much and I'm not holding any grudges. I already forgave him. We already have forgiven each other. I just wanted to talk about my previous relationships and how I enjoyed my singleness right now. So basically, I've dated this guy for 9 years and a couple of months. So we're almost on the run for 10 years, and it was such a valued relationship where we really. I think I'm gonna talk about this in another podcast na lang. I have nothing against this guy. He is a great friend. Fast forward to 2018, we broke up. And of course, I was devastated. We were running for 10 years, and I'm not gonna lie, I have been going through my healing, my anxieties, my issues. But I was already having issues when I was still with him. So it all boils down to really putting everything in a basket, and that basket I'm trying to process everything in that, slowly pouring it until I'm gonna be healed 100%. But I'm positive about my healing because I know this has been orchestrated by God and He has His purposes and His timeline for me. So, enough about that. Talking about this, breakup, it's the time where I felt so lost, so lost in life. I don't know where to go. Like, there would be times that I would really feel lost. Like, I don't know what to do next, who to talk to, what I'm gonna do, or what to expect in the future. This was like a few months after the breakup. So, talking about these relationships from 12, 13, 14 until I was 28 years old, I have been with different relationships, fling or serious relationships. Yeah, I haven't really dealt with singleness, or I haven't given it much thought. So right now I'm really taking deep into this season. I really love my season right now. I get to focus on myself because I'm also praying for my future. Of course, I want to get married, I want to have a family. I'm praying for my future, but how am I going to prepare myself for that if I'm not going to mold myself right now in this season, in the present? So right now, I'm really indulging myself with all kinds of growing activities like my studies, meeting a lot of people, learning about new stuff, like molding myself, my character, rooting myself with God's word, my relationship with God. I want to prepare myself right now before I move on to the next season or to the next phase. I just wanted to talk about what I experienced during the past few months, and yung just right after the breakup, I even had a lot of firsts. Like, I had the first time I went to the movies alone. And it was and it was a love story. Oh no, it's a heartbreak story, and it's Tagalog. For my friends, you know how I love Tagalog movies. So, I was alone in the movie house. I think I cried, but not too much. Basta it was my first time to watch a movies alone. And what else? I had a lot. The first time I traveled outside the city alone. I traveled to Jensen alone. It was my first time to drive that far and alone, so it was kind of a good experience. Kasi when I drive, most of the time, like when I drive, my background music or the car music that I always play, if I'm not listening to a podcast, I would be listening to worship songs. So that was actually a wonderful time for me to really listen to all my favorite worship songs. Grabe lang talaga ang flow ng Spirit ni God that time. Fast forward 2019, I jumped into trying solo travel. Solo travel was really a dream of mine ever since I was 25 years old, and I just had the guts. My first time to travel, to do a solo travel, I went to Boracay for the first time, and I was alone. So it was kind of a cool thing. So I guess I'm gonna do a separate podcast about that. What my experiences are, how did I come up with, budgeting. I think I would include my travels in my podcast because I really do love to travel. Like, I get to experience another side of me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm scared tons of times I'm scared of who I'm gonna meet or where I'm gonna go. But yeah, it was such a transforming moment. I really love to travel. Of course, always the highlight would be seeing God's creations, how great His creation is. It's so amazing. Always the provisions of God, financial protection, guidance, it's 100% there. And then while I was so pumped with my Boracay trip, I booked another solo travel 2 months after and I went to Siquijor and Dumaguete. So that was my last solo trips. And I hope to get some solo time again after COVID. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just wanted to talk about the two major relationships that I had before. I met a lot of guys in between, but these two people have greatly impacted my life. They've helped me mold myself into the person that I am today. I'm not holding any grudges, even yung sa first boyfriend na na-mention ko kanina. Because, of course, I was still so young back then. I didn't know any better, so I'm not gonna be bashing that person. I had a good set of friends when I was in high school, so when our relationship was at its peak, when we were in third year high school, we were classmates kasi. We were in the same class. And then, grabe, we would fight a lot. I don't know if people knew that I was a bullied girlfriend. So that year was so heavy for me. It actually led me to announce to the world that I'm gonna do suicide. And then because of that so heavy experience, I really wanted to kill myself. I know even before that, I was really weak in spirit. I decided to like kill myself, but my mind then was so unclear. Because of that, there was this group of people, like there were four of them, who really made an impact in my life. We were called the best friends. Best friends. BESPRENS. Best friends. Best friend. So there were four of them, so we were five in total, and we were called the best friends. And they really helped me with this suicidal thoughts, and they keep on reminding me that I'm the fifth person. So, mamatay mo na silang apat before ako. So, we formed this group. They really assisted me and we really bonded. We were best friend number one, best friend number two, three, four, and ako si five. We're not close anymore, but I really remember these people to have given me this great hope, who helped this little high school girl deal with her issues. So I'm really glad to have them. And yeah, as early as that age, I was already thinking about suicide. That's why mental health issue is really deep in my heart. Like I've been dealing a lot of issues ever since I was 14, 15 years old. Yun lang, I really just wanted to talk about these things because I wanted people to know, or you, my listeners, we've already had this deep relationship. Even if I don't know you, who you are personally, or I know because you've been listening to my podcast, we have this relationship. So I just wanted you to understand where I'm coming from, what my background is, or how my childhood has been. It would be easier for me to share some of my stories after I've shared this one. Yun lang actually ang ma-remember ko from the past relationships, especially with that major one. Because I've actually dug deep these memories. And sometimes I choose not to remember these things. I know some of my friends would even say that I'm like my memories suck because I keep on forgetting a lot of things, but there are just certain memories that I choose to forget because it's gonna harm me or it's gonna affect me in the long run. So I'm just amazed, or I'm just in shock right now to actually try to remember a lot of memories from this past relationship. I got scared actually. I got scared that time. It was a scary experience. You being this 15, 16-year-old to be threatened to for you to get killed, for your parents or for your house to be burned. I don't know if he meant it, but it was such a heavy experience for me. So I'm just glad to share this part of me, put it in my podcast. I hope some of you would even learn something. I don't know. Just wanted to share my story. Just wanted to siguro possibly release this from my memory. Just put it in the recording. Oh yeah. I'm sorry if I got too emotional. I'm just processing things, and sometimes I get to compare from where I came from and to who I've become. Sometimes it's just so scary and amazing at the same time. Siguro it's a mix of a lot of wrong decisions in the past and mixed with God's purposeful lessons for me. Siguro I'll end up with this Bible verse. One of my favorite Bible verses. I've already talked about this couple of times, where it says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the old has gone, the new has come." This line literally saved me, and I really hold on to this. I really wanted to make this like a banner, life banner, where it helped me to let go of the past. It revealed to me a lot of things that I'm no longer who I was. I'm not anymore that person. And I was given this new life, this new chance to redeem myself because I was redeemed by Jesus. I was given this new life. Whoever is in Christ, I am in Jesus Christ. So I'm just glad to overcome all those experiences before. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna end this podcast. It became a little bit of emotional for me. So yeah, thank you for listening. Bye.